won't you please?
We're who you should be listening to, admit it. The prettiest Tiff in Carolina, get it? Love, family, and friends. This be the energy, a better understanding so we can all be complete. Each time spitting raw and unrehearsed. Either in your feelings or laughing till it hurts. Love and Flaws, the show that you all need. Join us every week for the best of us, guaranteed.
Here we go.
Yeah. What's happening? What's happening? What's going on, world? This is the Love and Flaws podcast with your boy Carolina Sin and the absolute prettiest Tiff.
What's going on?
What's up, sis? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm over here half stepping, not being prepared, not having the right intro loaded and everything.
Listen, it's all right. Listen, this is raw, unrehearsed.
We the realest out here. We the realest ones out.
And this is what happens.
Yeah.
But the content is still the bomb.
That's right. So we gonna get into it today. I'm super excited about this one today. This one, I went through this one personally, so I already know. But we're gonna talk about age gaps in relationships. So we're gonna talk about dating people older than yourself or dating people younger than yourself.
Okay.
So let me ask, and because it's considered taboo, I guess, after a certain amount in the age group.
Like a certain amount of gap, right?
Right. And let me say this. Let me start by saying this. Like, before we get into, because we like to joke and play and stuff like that, but I want to take just a serious note and say, like, I do think that people grooming, like, teenage girls and boys is a real thing, right? So we're not necessarily talking about that. We may touch on it a little bit because I still think there can be some grooming involved, even if you're an adult and you're still a young person. But I just want to make sure we're being clear. We're not condoning, 15-year-olds dating 25-year-olds or anything crazy like that. We're talking about adults who are grown. I mean,
who can make clear and conscious decisions on their own.
So I just want to be clear that we're not condoning that, because we like to talk, we like to say things a little funny and stuff like that. And we'll get into it, because I dated somebody that was super young. I didn't know they was that young. I don't know. We're gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm over here making sure.
I had never dated somebody super younger than me, and then this happened, and now I understand why. Like, well, I understand the people who are like, you can't. It's hard. Like, you can't do it because there's like a generational difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was in my 30s. And she was just barely 21. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Wow. That's hard.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was tough.
I think once there's a substantial age gap, then there becomes a disconnect, right? Between you two in certain areas, in my opinion, because someone, when I think about who I was at 21, right, and who I am at 44, now don't get me wrong, there are certain foundational things that are still the same about me, right? So, like, my morals haven't changed, too much. The way that I perceive or even look at life hasn't changed much. It's the way I go about doing things, though, that has changed a lot. Right. And so where I was very immature, maybe emotionally at 21, I've, not that I'm, there are still struggles that I have, but as a grown woman now, those emotional hurdles are not the same. I still have emotional hurdles,
and I fought it too. I want to be clear. Like, I was not trying to date this person, right? I tried to like leave that. I'm not.
What did she say to you to convince you at 21? Like, I'm just asking. Like,
it ain't what she said to. Yo, I'm just saying, like,
keep it real here.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was like, yo, I was trying. Like, I tried to quit that so many times, right? I thought, to be honest with you, so I was like 35 or whatever it was. You know what I mean? When it started. So I was just like, this would be like a fling type of thing. Like, it ain't gonna be that serious.
It wasn't like you were going into it thinking that it was gonna be a serious relationship.
She had a whole boyfriend. So we talked about this before. So I'm not a side piece type of dude. So I was just like, because I can't be the side piece. Like, I'm just done. Like, I tried to stop dealing with her altogether.
Right.
And she wasn't having that. And I wasn't strong enough to just say, nah. I mean, I said no 100 times probably, but then, all right, we here now.
Do you think if that same situation came up that you would be able to be like strong enough to be like, no, if that same situation.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Cause that was that toxic relationship.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, absolutely. But because I seen it, you know what I mean? Like, if you get, it's, you know, we either repeat the behavior or you go against it, right? So if you've been in a relationship and somebody cheated on you or beat it or was beating on you or whatever,
right?
Those red flags you look for. So now I'm like, I be trying not to even be friends with chicks that are like.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think the biggest thing with that was it would be don't even put yourself in a situation.
Right, but we met at work. That's how that started. So it wasn't. We just was put in close proximity, playing around. I thought she was older than she was, to be honest with you, but you know, you fall for who you fall for, I guess. Yeah. So
yeah, and I think that's a great point. I mean, I do believe that someone with a big age gap, and again, we're talking about consenting adults that can make a clear and concise choice or decision.
But I should have
someone.
Like, even though she was 21, I should have never dated her.
Right, but what I'm saying is, I think that there's hope. You know, I always try to look at both sides, and I think two people that have a substantial age gap can work. I think it's a lot harder. I think it just puts one extra. You know, relationships are hard work as they are, right?
Right.
And then just that big age gap would just be an unnecessary hurdle if it's not for the right reasons and it's not really love.
Because at that point, like, I was 35, like I still felt like I was kind of young, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, now
but nah, 35, now you ain't no damn 21, brother.
Right, but I'm saying though, like, now I'm older than 40. I'm like, nah, I'm old now. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, we still young. You know what I'm saying? But like, I recognize like what's happening, right?
Right.
But at 35, I thought I was still a young buck. You know what I mean? Like, I thought dating somebody in their 20s wouldn't be that bad. You know what I mean? Like, looking back on it, I was obviously wrong.
That's why you needed a woman to come in and be like, brother,
yeah. And I didn't have that,
to keep it real, we're gonna be real. When I think again, and I talk to my sons about this all the time.
Right.
You know, you're at my son, you're at an age where women do mature faster, but women, when we're that young, we're so freaking emotional, right? And don't let us get upset or angry, because then the vindictiveness, see, now at 44, I'm not going to be vindictive. I'm just going, like, I'm not going to try to hurt you back. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just walking away. 21 Tiff, shit, even 30 Tiff. Oh, I'm getting,
you're getting your lick back.
I'm getting my lick. I'm getting, you know what I'm saying?
Over.
Like
10 times over.
So it just becomes this cycle. But I've never dated anybody substantially older than me or substantially younger than me.
Right.
Never.
And like, you know, and I can't even front. Like I'm smarter now too than I was at 35.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like there was an ego thing involved. Like it was cool. I got 20-year-olds because it wasn't. I had other chicks in their 20s at work sweating me and stuff too. Like so it was just, you know, I was being that dude.
Yeah. For me, like if now, even if like a 28-year-old approached me, and I've had young guys approach me, and as soon as I find out how, I'm like, sweetheart, first of all, my sons will kill you. You know what I'm saying? That's number one. Number two, there's nothing that I feel like you could offer me at that age.
At 28?
No.
Then why not? What if he got all this shit together?
But again, he has not lived enough experience in my, and this is, okay, and what we're talking, we're kind of generalizing, because we're not talking about somebody that I sit down and talk with and, you know, maybe get to know, you know, their life story. I'm not even going that route. Like, I don't even want to know your life story. I just
So you're saying like if they walk up to you in the club or whatever, and you can kind of visibly tell like boy, how old are you? Right? And he's like 28. Why you like? You better go on to the next one. You're not even giving them
find somebody else, or even if you know, because sometimes you don't even have to ask. You can tell. Like you may not be able to tell their exact age.
I think that was part of my problem. Like I thought she was closer to like 25, 26, 27.
Yeah.
But and it didn't come up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody knew how old I was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it didn't come up. And then now you already catch your feelings, and that made it that clouded it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think that's why we have to be. I mean, and the thing is too, is that there's a double standard, right? So you as a man can date a young woman, and it's usually okay. You know, like people might kind of side eye you for a minute, but it's acceptable. Where
it's
women,
less okay now because of like what we started off talking about, like the way we are recognizing men being predatory over young women, right? Because like I'm a genuinely have your best interest at heart type of dude, right? But it could be easy to influence a 21-year-old. Even with me at 35 or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, yes, I didn't try to do any of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it shouldn't happen. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't happen. Because it's like, yo, if my 21-year-old was like, yo, you know, brought a dude home and he was 34,
yeah,
I'd be like, yo, I want you to be happy, but like, I don't want him to just come in and you know, you still trying to learn life and you know, like same thing. You know what I mean?
I think when I was younger, I did date a guy who was like 5 or 6 years older than me, and like in the age gap where I was like a teenager and he was an adult. Right. But it wasn't like he was like, you know, 15 years older than me or something like that. And it was kind of like, you know, my parents.
But even then, he should, like, if he was 22 and you was 17, y'all shouldn't have been dating.
Yeah, I don't think that we should have been. But you know what's crazy? Like my mom loved him, my stepfather loved him. Oh, and truth be told, I probably should have stayed with him, but I was so immature. Like he ended up like moving to like another city, right? Like city, like maybe 30 minutes away. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's too far. It's never going to work. And I ended up like breaking up with them. But that's what I'm saying. I was so like Tiffany, it don't take nothing to jump in a car and go.
Right. Now, look, in fairness, there are situations where people in their 20s or dating people in their 30s or 40s or whatever, and they live happily ever after.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Like it could happen.
Those are the exception to the rules, though.
Yes,
they really are. You know what I'm saying? For every one of those, there's probably 10 examples of it not being the greatest idea ever.
Yeah. I mean, this is an old statistic, but it says that normally the age gap is between 2.3 years. So normally that means when you're with someone, there's only a 2.3 year age gap between you and that person. So like that's like the norm, statistically speaking. Yeah. I had a guy that was interested in me. I'm 44. He was 34. So that's 10 years.
I think the older you get, the age difference matters less, though.
Absolutely. But to me, that's still like 44. Like, so that means when he's 44, I'm going to be 54. 44 to 54, though.
I love older women too now. Like,
But then what if a young thing comes along, right? So if you think of a 34-year-old, they can date 10 years up, 10 years down. So what if a 24-year-old comes along? Like, he gonna be hooping just like you were. Because that young fine thing is coming across. And see, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's because, okay, I could date if we put that rule into play, 10 years up, 10 years down.
Right.
Where a 54-year-old is going to probably be more stable financially, make me feel probably a little bit more secure as opposed to a 34-year-old. So what if that 34-year-old is still a knucklehead to a certain degree, still ain't got his stuff together? And here comes this 54-year-old.
He should have at 34, he should be having his stuff together. I get it. I know that we know
most men to me don't have their stuff together till they're about realistically 42 is when shit starts coming together.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Again, we're not speaking in absolutes, everybody. We're talking about you know, because I know.
So you would date a 21-year-old though again, or no?
No, absolutely not.
So what would be the youngest you would go?
I would like to not date anybody that's not at least in their 30s.
So 30.
So like,
what would be your cap off age?
So like the last chick I tried to talk to was like 35.
Okay.
So like, I would like it to be that, but if a 32-year-old hollered at me, I would be mad. I'm just not doing 20s anymore. So
anything 30 and up, basically.
Right. Preferably closer to 40 though.
And then what's your cap and age?
I have the advantage that y'all mature faster and better than us though.
Right. Okay, so what's the oldest you would go?
I would probably date somebody mid-50s. Yeah, okay. I've seen some bad.
Listen, older women are killing it.
Yeah.
They are killing it. And older men. Yeah. I've seen some older men that you be like, dang.
Right. Like, I feel like if she hollered at me and she was like 58, but it was 58? Right. Yeah, if she 58? Was fine and she had her shit together, like, why would I not?
I could date a 60-year-old man.
Why though? Why not? Now, keep in mind, I understand from a perspective that 20 years from now, it's gonna be harder. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because I'm gonna still be wanting to run around.
Right. The Bahamas.
And he might be in a wheelchair.
Right. But yo, listen, I would take 15. I would take 15 to 20 years of true love right now.
Over nothing?
Over nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not counting them out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done had 20-something years of bullshit.
Yeah.
I'll take.
But I don't know. I don't know if a 60-year-old man would be able to keep up with me. Like he would have.
They some cats that like ain't Idris Elba like 60?
Heck no.
What? Come on. He in his mid-50s.
Idris Elba he was dating K. Michelle.
What that mean?
We about to find out. He's 50 years old.
Okay, he in his 50s now,
but
though.
But I'm 44. I'll be 45. So that's
you wouldn't do. So
I'm saying 60.
So that's the all right. So let's find some. Let's see some people who are in their 60s. Hold on.
I feel like this is a setup.
No, I'm just trying to find some examples here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I would definitely date Idris Elba.
Right. I'm just trying to see if there are any examples.
But you know what, I think with men, normally they get finer as they get older. Like Will Smith, he was not attractive. He wasn't attractive to me when he was younger. Now that he's older, to me, he is so fine.
I do think. Do you think that part of that is society?
I think part of that is the representation of what it means for a man to get older. We as women, we normally automatically equate stability, family man, especially if that's what they're portraying. In touch with his emotions. You know, you ain't got to beg him to tell you what's wrong. You ain't got to try to guess what's wrong. Wanting to live their life at that age too, right? Because there may be a lot of things that they didn't get to do because they weren't stable. So it's like, oh, I want to enjoy my life. I want to do things. I want to explore. Right. And I think women are attracted to that, especially in my age bracket, because at 40, that's what women at 40, that's what we want to start doing. We're like, oh, let's live life.
Like, let me get like Angela Bassett just turned 60.
Oh, she's bad.
To the bone.
She's bad.
To the bone.
Jennifer Lopez. She's like 50 something.
Right. What about Denzel? Denzel in his 60s?
Nah.
Denzel starting to show his age a little bit.
Denzel was never attractive to me. I liked him as an actor, but as far as like looking at him, like, oh my God, he never was that dude for me.
Okay. The only reason I say that because a lot of over the year I heard a lot of women talk about some Denzel.
Right. But think about the age gap that the women that were probably saying that. So when Denzel was coming out, women who were saying he was fine when I was in my 30s were probably in their early 50s. Right.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I'm just saying, if Angela Bassett saw me at a bar and was like, yo, I'd like, why don't you come over here and not eat alone? What?
Now, you know what young dude, though, that I absolutely love? Oh, Lord, what's his name? Michael?
Ely? Light-skinned dude, Ely?
No, I like mine dark.
I'm about to say, let's not participate in colorism. I felt it was coming. She was about to say.
Don't get me wrong, I don't discriminate.
Too high.
Because it's how you make me feel is what I'm first. But if we're just talking about the eye, that's just, I like them dark. But I'm so yellow, you know what I mean?
Right,
so,
you're like two yellows.
Like we just going to be two sunshines. Like, dang, they both had vitamin D for years.
Wow.
No, but what is it? Michael, he played Creed.
Oh, Michael B. Jordan.
Now that I don't know how old he is, but I know he's young.
When me and Angela get together, I can introduce you because you know she played his mama.
Listen, now if Michael B. Jordan say, I want to take you on a date, baby, where we going?
You know, she played his mama. I can introduce you.
Right. No questions asked. I'm in there like swimwear. But you know, that's just because he's an adult, but with that relationship.
He's 35.
You know,
he's 35.
Is he?
He's 35. February 9th, 1987.
He looks a lot younger.
He just turned 30. Well, no, we're in December. He about to be 36.
Call me Michael.
Yo.
Hit your girl up if you want a real one. No, I'm just kidding.
He's hurting right now, too. You know, Lori just broke his heart.
Right, baby. See.
Hey, 35 dating a 21-year-old.
See?
Right.
She's 21.
I don't know. I'm just saying, I know she's young. Let me see. She may not be that young. No, she's 25, but so she's 10 years younger than him.
Oh wow. See that? See, that's why it ain't gonna work.
She's January, he's February. So they right at 10 years.
Oh wow, yeah. So that's why that fell through. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I try not to judge people. You know, if I see an older, and now it's hard to tell because sometimes, like when I go out with my sons, they always think that they're my boyfriends. Oh, like when we just went to Florida, we were doing the dolphin thing. It was myself, my son, one of my sons, my 22-year-old, and then one of my best friends in North Carolina. And she was like, oh, so what is it? Girlfriend, boyfriend, and then friend of the girlfriend? And we were like, I said, ma'am, this is my son.
Yeah.
She was like, your son? She was like, you had to have him early. I said, you know, I guess. But man,
she's trying to compliment you. She was complimenting you.
She was. I didn't take, but I'm just like, it still takes me a second to realize that people are like, well, because I look so much younger than what they think I might be. For it takes a second for it to register. That's
another reason I can't mess with nobody in their 20s. Because if we go somewhere, they're gonna be like, oh, you and your dad can come along right over here. Well, all right. Well, I look like even being offended. You know what I'm saying?
So what would you say in that moment? That's my girl? Or would you let them think that that's your daughter?
You just, I don't know. I'm not going to be in that situation. So I don't know. I don't know. That'd be tough.
Oh, but wait, though, because you look good for your age. So wait till your daughter, though, gets over that 19 hump. People are going to probably assume things.
Oh, yeah. And when I finish losing this weight, this month, yes. When she in college,
you're gonna be scoping the campus.
Oh, we'll be like, hey, you need me to come over there and visit you? Hey,
now you're gonna be looking at the professors or the students?
I sound real predatorious right now.
That's why I said, are you gonna be looking at the teachers or the professors or the students now?
I'm gonna be like, introduce me to their mamas. That's what I'm gonna do.
Right. Where the single mamas at?
But you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be taking my daughter and them on trips and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm at that age now. Let's be clear. And I ain't boasting or nothing, but I'm at an age now where I've had somebody hit on me and they daughter hit on me. Right? Like people
daughter and mother and daughter.
Right. Like not like at the same time, like not within a few months of each other.
So how did they both know you?
So I went to school with mama. And they kid is like 22 now or something.
See, that type of stuff never happens to women. Like a son and a father are never gonna hit on a woman. I shouldn't use the word never, but I don't think that would happen as often as a mother and a daughter.
Yo, I dated a chick one time. Her mama was bad. Bad, like when I was younger. Like bad, like years ago, like years and years ago. Her mama was bad. Her mama could have got it.
She was Miss Parker.
Man.
Hi, Miss Parker.
Yo, I'm telling you.
Hi, boys.
She had her daughter. She had the young lady I was seeing young. So, yeah. I don't know how old was I at that point. I was like, I don't know, 22, 23. So she might have been, I don't know, 42 or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but she was bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I say love who you love, but make sure that, you know, you loving that person and taking into consideration that age gap, if there is one.
So let's get into it. So when I was 35 and she was 21, right? So like there was things like I had to explain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like they just things I got, like, you really a teacher at that point. Too, you know what I'm saying? And that's where the grooming stuff can come into, because you either you can take advantage of that,
right,
and try and influence them one way or the other. I tried my hardest never to do anything like that.
Or tell them wrong on purpose.
Right. You have inherent natural biases towards things that you feel. So it's natural she influenced me on certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? Right. So like, but I tried to be conscious of, like, I know I'm older. I want her to make her own decisions. You know what I'm saying? But I'll explain it. But they was things like she didn't understand that if I was dating somebody older, they would have.
Right.
So there was a lot of things. I don't want to say a lot. There was things that were like that. But then there was a lot of things that we was like, we got music wise, we were fine. Like a lot of core values, we believed in the same stuff. Like it just, I mean, like,
yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier. I think at that age, your core values don't necessarily change too much, but it's how you approach life.
Right.
And that's what the hard part is, right? Because if you're
I think it would be different. I think it would be different for me now to date like a 35-year-old, because they have gone out into the world and experienced things and stuff like that. Like they have a better understanding of the world.
I just don't. I don't know if I could have enough in common with the 35-year-old. Like
I mean, that plays a part. Listen, don't get me wrong. I'm saying now, if I met a 36-year-old at the bar and she was just on some different shit, like, like, then no. I mean, you still got to have things in common. But what if you meet a 35-year-old and I don't even know what, like, this man got his passport. He done traveled around for work. He's an experienced thing. He read novels and he writes poetry. Like, he mature. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like that at 35.
I don't know. I think at that point it would have to go off of the energy. Like if all the boxes, and I don't have any boxes, but I'm just metaphorically, if all the boxes checked off.
If after you walked away from him the first night, you was like, ding, 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 like, okay, he got it together.
Right. Yeah.
And y'all had a good time.
Then I might be like, okay, this could possibly be something that I would explore. But it like he would have to have.
He'd have to impress you. He'd have to go above and beyond since he was young.
And you know what though, my biggest thing would be, could he lead? Because at that age, like you said, with your like, I'm not gonna be around here teaching you everything. I'm not gonna be explaining.
He can't be intimidated. He can't be intimidated by you.
Oh no, he definitely would have to know how to take control. Like he would have to be able to know how to,
Right.
And I think that's what is the hardest thing for me to think about. Like, would someone that age be able to take control of a 44-year-old? And when I say take control, but be able to lead.
No, I get.
Me
we talked about it in the past.
in the direction and way that I would need to be led.
Right. See, because my version of that with somebody at 35 would be, what kind of conversations can they hold? Can they objectively interact with me in deep thought about certain things? You know what I mean? Like, are they gonna be able to? Hey, at this point, you being too loud. You ain't had to mute it.
I just unmuted. She in the background, like I'm not even, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Like you just not even here right now.
This is why we got to get a studio, because the only way that I'm going to be able to be totally silent is to either keep everybody out the house or find another place.
No, hey, we give it to them all the way real. I was just messing with it, but you know
that's
what I'm
saying? Okay. And I'm like, you too loud. She like, okay, and then just keeps talking the same, like I,
right,
children.
So,
but
no, yeah, I need them to be able to. I need them to hold a conversation with me.
Yeah,
like they got to be, and I'm not an elitist as far as, but they got to be smart. You know what I mean? They got to have some sense. So I couldn't date somebody that was younger and didn't have any sense. That would be hard. But if they was younger and had it together, and again, we as men have the benefit that y'all mature faster and better than us. So the chances of me meeting a mature 35-year-old is better than you meeting a mature 35-year-old.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's a great point. Absolutely. I definitely believe in it. But I think that because I've talked with people who are younger than me, female and male, and I can carry, my daughter is 18 and I can carry a conversation with her. My 22-year-old son, like, he teaches me stuff every day. You know what I'm saying? When we're around, we're just having our talks, like just general. And I'm like, really, son? He's always been like that, even when he was young. And I've always told him, you need to date up. Like, his girlfriend now, she's younger than him and it's working. But I always in my mind, because I knew who my son was, like, son, you need to be dating somebody like 5 years older than you.
Right.
Because a 21-year-old or a 20-year-old is not going to get it like you get it. Like they're just, most are just not there yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, he found somebody that it works with, but I don't know. Now I've seen women though date, literally they're in their 40s and I've seen them date like a 20-year-old. And I'm just like, that's a baby. Like, yeah, 18 makes you legal age, but
they just going for the physical.
They have to be, because what else?
Right.
What else? You might have that one, but back in the day, it was 14-year-old girls, 15-year-old girls. Now, again, that's not legal. But what I'm trying to get to, though, is that I think as time has gone on, like when my great-grandparents were together, I think my great-grandfather was like 15 years older than my great-grandmother.
Right.
So,
but
or maybe it was my grandmother or something. But time has changed. But a lot of those people stayed together forever.
Times was different, but they couldn't leave either back then too. You know what I mean? Like we have as we're trying at least to mature as a society and recognize that we had arranged marriages. We had people just giving away their 12 and 13-year-olds for some cows and some sheep, you know what I mean? Like
for some land.
Right. So like I tell people all the time, like slavery was legal back in the day. Like as we grow in our mind, we see things are not right. We see things, and like even me, like I look back on it now and I'm like, I shouldn't have done it. Like I shouldn't have done it. You're talking about a 14-year difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we live and you learn. Like I'm not perfect. I try to, so I never did anything. I was never wrong to this person. Like, I mean, and look, that person treated me like trash sometimes. Like that's just, but what should I have expected? She was young. You know what I mean? Like,
but that's the thing is, I don't think Well, it depends on what you mean when you say she treated you like trash. Was she just like emotionally unavailable?
No. Well, I mean that too.
Because you
like,
can meet a 44-year-old woman, brother, that'll treat you like trash.
You're not wrong, but the chance you know, but when you meet somebody that's more mature, you stand a better chance of them. Like bad people in every age category.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But statistically, the people who cheat and do things they ain't supposed to do, you do that usually in your younger age.
But see, now this is where I'm going to have to defend this young woman. I don't know her. If she cheated on you at 21, she has not experienced enough. Listen,
you help
normally at 21, a woman, if she sees something that she thinks is better or gives her more attention in that moment, she's going to go for it.
Right. You help me make my point. It doesn't
necessarily make her a bad person. It just makes her unexperienced or inexperienced.
Right, but that was my point, right? That somebody older would have more experience in these things and less likely happen.
Yeah.
That's
more experience, not in how to navigate through that, but like, I don't need to try that out because I've already tried it out.
I mean, yeah, that happens too. Because I know what you're talking about. These people like they married their high school sweetheart. That's the only person they knew for 20 years. And then they step out.
You tell me that they're not cheating at least once, you lying.
I would have never cheated. I married my high school sweetheart and I never thought about cheating. And
but you weren't with her for like a lifetime.
But I was
talking about people.
But I was 21 when we got married though. And we was married for like 2 years.
Yeah,
and
but
I
what
never,
I'm saying is,
never once thought. And I had it.
2 years is not long enough for you to.
But
I'm talking about 21. If someone marries their high school sweetheart. I know people who have married their high school sweethearts and have been together since we've been in high school up till now.
But you just said you telling me one of them ain't cheated.
I know that out of the ones, and it's not just one couple. I know.
Quit putting your friends on blast, Tiff.
No, I'm not putting them. People don't know what I'm talking about. I got a lot of friends from high school.
Right.
Where I grew up at, where I went to school at, everybody kind of knew everybody, right? So the chances of you, I was just talking about this with my daughter earlier, even Fayetteville. Fayetteville is so small. If you were raised and born here, the chances of you dating someone that your friend dated is probably 80%.
I guess, yeah.
Because everyone, like, I'm not even from here. People know me and I don't even know them.
Right. But my point was this.
My
point was this though, Tiff. Those 2 years I was 21, 22. Those was it was being thrown at me every day.
Brother, I promise you, had you would have stayed with her for 15 more years, even if you didn't physically cheat, you would have got the itch. You would have talked to somebody.
No.
Somebody would have.
I'm not built that way.
Brother, if you was built, if you weren't strong enough to ward off a 21, and I love you, and I know you're different. I know you're different, and sir, I know you are. But if you weren't strong enough to ward off a 21-year-old being single, it's no way in the world being with your high school sweetheart for 20 years that you wouldn't have dipped out not once.
That's different. Me dating her is not breaking somebody's heart or breaking a bond, the oath we took before God. That's different. Come on now.
No, that's not different because it's about self-control.
I was single though.
But you still should have known I love you, but 21 is too young for you to be dating.
You're not wrong, right? But at that point, 35, I was single. Like, but if I was married and it was being thrown at me constantly and I didn't cheat?
And what if you and your wife went through, and these are all what ifs, right? But I promise you, the people what I was saying earlier, the people that I know, even outside, family members who have been married for that long, no one goes that long without cheating on somebody. Nobody.
Tiff. Come on, Tiff.
Okay. I'm telling you.
That's hurt talking. Remember how we talk about?
No, brother. I don't expect this.
So you trying to tell me this. Anybody that's in their 40s right now that's been married 20 years. 90%.
Somebody in that relationship has stepped out.
Stop it, Tim. Come on.
I promise you, if you do a poll and these are people that are willing to be real and open up their lives. If we were to do a poll, I can almost guarantee you more than 50% have stepped out. I guarantee. I put that, if I had to bet.
A poll on what's the parameters, Tiff? Tell me the parameters.
They have to be married for at least 20 years. No. I even go this far. 15 years, but they have had to have been together since they were young. We're not talking about you got married at 40.
25. Before 25. 18 to 25, and they've been married.
Well, let's not say married. Let's say together. They've had to have been together 25. No, let's say 28. Like prior to 28.
28, though. All right. So you're saying anybody that got married in their 20s.
Yes.
And been together at least 15 years.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. At least somebody cheated. How much y'all put? Yes.
Chill.
Yes.
Tiff, come on.
When y'all watch this podcast, I need y'all to do me a favor. And this is real talk. I need y'all to comment and let me know if y'all agree with me, if y'all don't agree with me, why, and what you think the percentage is.
When I post this, I don't know if it's gonna be this week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you post it, I just want you to comment.
When I post this, I'm cutting this segment. That's gonna be the first promo. I'm cutting this segment of Tiff said that between if you got married in your 20s and you've been married at least 15 years.
You don't even have to say got married. They could still be together and not married.
Nah, but that to me though.
You're thinking of the marriage, because I know some people who have been together since they were young, but maybe didn't get married until their 30s.
So here's the thing for me. The marriage part is still a big deal to me.
Right.
Right? I feel like, and I ain't trying to knock. No, I know there's people who don't believe in necessarily marriage, like, oh, it's just a piece of paper. And they may have been together 5-10 years and they're happy and it works for them. But there's a lot of situations where if you've been dating for 10 years, 15 years and not got married, there's other problems going on.
Well, bet.
So what I'm saying is this. So what I'm saying is this. We're going to set it up for the promo right now.
Okay.
The prettiest Tiff is saying. And y'all let us know if you agree with this or not. Because I don't want to agree with this, but the prettiest Tiff is saying that if you got married in your 20s and you've been married at least 10 to 15 years.
Let's go at least 15 or more.
Okay, 15 years. You've been married at least 15 years. Tiff, tell us what you're saying is happening.
Somebody in that relationship done cheated. Whether it's the man or the woman, somebody has cheated. I guarantee it.
So America. And everywhere else in between.
Everywhere.
Any country that's listening.
That you can die because you cheat on your spouse.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
So America, you telling us that's true?
It is.
Y'all agree with that?
They do.
Now, what percentage? You saying 100% of those relationships have at least one person cheating in them?
No, I didn't say 100%, but it's
90?
It's definitely more than. Okay, if I got to put a percentage, I would say 68%.
Ooh, you talking about almost 7 out of 10 marriages? Somebody
I guarantee it.
If they got married in their 20s. Tiff, come on. You gotta have more. You gotta have more faith.
I've never seen a successful marriage where someone hasn't cheated. Never.
What?
Listen, all of the successful marriages, when I say successful, meaning that they're still together, they're still working, they're still growing, they're still building.
You saying they overcame infidelity?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Oh my God. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. If I felt like my friends and family members, because I have some family members, if I felt like they were comfortable with me, like putting them, I'd be like, yo, that's gonna be our first. our first topic that we're gonna have guests when we get our studio is gonna be this. And I would bring them in and be like, yo, be real and because that's the only way people can grow. And that's why I can never get married. Because I know in order to have a successful marriage, you have to be able to get over those types of humps. If you are married, it says till death do you part, through sickness and health. That's like, you don't get to be like, oh, you cheated, so the marriage is over. You're supposed to work through that. And I know I can't do that. Which is why I could never get married again. Because I can't give you that.
You're supposed to be reminding me, Tiff, of why I should not give up on love.
Listen, but you have to look inner, right? And this is one of the things that I say, bro.
Hold on though. So you telling me that if I get married now, I just need to accept that in the next 10, 15 years, one of us is gonna cheat.
Yes.
Tiff, come on.
Okay.
So then I'm never getting married.
Okay. And I don't blame you. That's why I can't get married.
My heart hurting right now.
I'm sorry, but it doesn't mean you can't have a long-standing relationship with somebody.
You gotta have more faith in humanity.
Baby, these are facts.
If you get married next year, you gonna cheat on yours?
I didn't say the woman or man.
Right, but I'm saying,
and I haven't been with them since I've been 20.
No, but I mean, so if you got married next year, y'all go 10 years from now, everything been bliss. You gonna start wondering if they've been cheating? Just for the sake of
10 years of marriage, everything ain't bliss, baby.
Something gonna come up. But I'm saying, what little hiccups y'all had, y'all worked through it and become stronger. Like 10 years, infidelity ain't never been one of the issues, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Whether it be fighting with in-laws, whether it be money sometimes here, whatever the issues is, infidelity ain't never been that. 12-year anniversary. You gonna start just looking across the table at him like, I wonder if this nigga cheat on me. Just for the sake of it?
No, because it's already gonna be my mind that he's because I'm not a cheater. But I will tell you this. I could see myself, if I was feeling that way, going to my husband like, listen, I could see myself stepping outside of our marriage.
You see yourself doing it?
No, I said if I was going to do that, I could see myself going to my husband and saying that.
I'm lost. If you can see yourself doing what?
Your question to me was, if I was married to somebody,
right,
and it's been decent,
right,
after 10 or 15 years, would I cheat on him?
You've been happy for 10, 15 years.
Okay.
So now you think one of y'all's gonna cheat?
Absolutely. I think. Oh. And I don't want to say it all the way.
Say it.
Because I don't want to
say it.
Men are gonna cheat. Men are just gonna fucking cheat. It is like, no man out here is going to be 100% faithful to his wife. I don't care who you are.
Tiff, I have never cheated on anybody ever.
That does not, your life is not up yet. And I said the statistic is 7 out of 10. So you may be part of that 3.
Wow.
But the deck is listen, all I'm doing is playing the cards that we've been given. 7 out of 10 men are going to cheat on their wife after being married at least 10 years if they haven't already done it within that first 10. Absolutely. Because men are not programmed or made to desire just one woman. They're not.
Ladies
and if the right woman comes across, they're going to do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the views expressed by the prettiest Tiff are the views solely of the prettiest Tiff and only the prettiest.
And I will take that all day, but I stand.
Not all men.
Me and my homegirls last night were together, and our motto going into 2023, and I'm sure we're going to do a New Year's special, but our motto is stand on it. Whatever you say, stand on it.
Not all men cheat. Ladies. Not all. I can't cover. I wish I could cover her up right. Not all men cheat. That's not the case. Not even, I don't think it's even 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. You're telling me 7.
There's good men out here that have been through it.
3 out of 10.
That's been through it too. That was raised right by their mama and them. That is not going to disrespect you and cheat on you. Now, I get that it's hard. I don't think it's 7 out of 10. I'd be willing to go 50. I'd be willing to go half. Not 7 or 8 out of 10 though.
I didn't say 8. I said 7.
I know I'm saying that though. I mean, but that's what we hear. Listen, and on the flip side, I know not all women are bad. I'm having a hard time finding the ones that ain't. You know what I mean? Like, so I get it. But I refuse to lose faith in humanity and that we can't find people who are not going to fucking just do us dirty.
Now, I will say this. I found a statistic on another podcast. And when it comes to marriage,
right,
whether there's infidelity involved, whether there's an age gap, whether whatever, the women walk away from the like most women file for divorce. Men don't. Why do you think that is?
Ooh, I feel like that could be a whole show.
It should be. And we're going to touch on it, but you want to know what I think? Segue into it because men cheat.
Before you say...
So most women are filing for divorce because their man done cheated on them and they can't get over it. But the man
throwing away the whole show. Love.
But I still love my men.
Love. No, she don't, y'all. No, she don't. Don't let her lie to y'all. No, she don't. Let me tell you
I'm just real.
Let me tell you what. Tiff went got her hair did. And she did. You know all them TikToks y'all see about we get fresh cut and we step out the house where you going. Tiff went got her hair did. And now she in here acting brand new on y'all. Yo.
But but guess what? I don't think that it makes, and we've talked about this, and you and I had very different views on it. I could deal with my man cheating on me. I just couldn't deal with my husband cheating on me. I don't think that men are bad when they do that.
That's why I said marriage is the key to me. Yeah. You taking that vow, if I'm saying, because I'm like, yo, I tell my nephews this, anybody look like, yo, if you gonna step out or you don't believe that you could be faithful to this woman and give her what she needs, you don't believe that you could stand on it like you talking about, don't marry that woman.
Right.
Sit down so a good man that will do that will.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But so that's why I said
we should have known you though, dealing with a 21-year-old. There was gonna be some infidelity somewhere along the way.
No, Miss Hairdead. What we not gonna do is bring this back to me. We all for me right now.
Somebody gonna cheat. She 21. She ain't even sold. What did they?
Your whole thing changed because you was at first like, just because she's 21 don't be da.
No. I said no.
Tiff flipped over one of them braids. It was, if I remembered who the fuck she was, it was like, no, y'all niggas ain't shit. I'm done. We wrapping this one up.
Listen, I love my men. I'm just being real. Y'all cheat.
No.
Brother, you don't. We're generalizing.
So that means there's others that don't too.
3 out of 10. If I count for every 10 men, 3 of them is not going to cheat.
This the reverse of our.
See, we have so much to talk about and so little time all the time. And I'm going to stop because I don't want to get too far. I don't want to go off subject. I don't want to get us off subject. But When we do another, I promise you, I have tested my theory. Like, I literally have tested it before.
What theory is that?
That most men cheat.
I think most people cheat, not just men. I think people are just bad. People. A lot of people are bad nowadays.
But see, I don't think men cheating is necessarily bad, and this is where you and I disagree.
Whoa.
Men are made to see. Okay, y'all are visual creatures. The reason that 21-year-old was able to get you out of your is because she led bad. With everything visual.
Because the way her ass would sit up, like
and the way she would move it, and the way she would bounce it, and the way she would caress you and walk by.
Lost my mind.
Your mind goes.
Right.
It goes. And it's
but I don't
not
do that
to
when
say
I'm
that
in a
men
committed,
are bad. It's how y'all are made up.
I don't lose my senses when I'm in a committed relationship, though.
You again. This show does not say Love and Flaws about Seneca. This is about
we died.
This is about generalized talking.
Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate your time today. Again,
see how my brother do me.
The views like expressed, the views expressed by the prettiest Tiff.
I do not do him.
Are those of the they do not reflect of the entirety of the Love and Flaws podcast.
Brother.
Yo. Now I'm standing up for us good men today. That's not the case.
Listen, we're not talking about good men. We're talking about
but we because we was talking about marriages as a whole for a certain group. Like not all of us are fucking dogs.
But I never said all, brother. I said 7 out of 10.
It's not 7 out of 10 of us. Come on.
Bro, I can't wait till you move back because you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take this shit on the road. And we are gonna be walking up to people. Y'all married? How long y'all been married? Y'all willing to be open and honest with us?
They not answering.
Who's cheated in a relationship?
You will never get honest answers though.
I think that we're in a time where people are wanting to learn from one another. And I think more people are willing to open up about their experiences than we give them credit for. And I think if you have a successful marriage, you've been married for a long time, that's not going to break your marriage to give guidance to people who are wanting to be married.
I do think that there are marriages that have recovered from that. I think there are marriages that have recovered from other things that were for them bombshells. I don't disagree with that has happened. I'm just saying not 7 out of 10. Not 7 out of 10.
Comment, like, subscribe.
You see how she just dismissed me right now?
We'll see. We are going to see my lovely brother. We are going to see.
All right. Look, we're going to wrap it up because she's making me lose faith in humanity right now.
But listen, love who you love.
I love all 10 out of 10 of y'all. All 100 out of 100 of y'all. I love y'all. And I appreciate all 1,000 out of 1,000 of y'all that be checking us out. I love y'all.
We love y'all.
We're going to see you next week. This is the Love and Flaws podcast with the prettiest Tiff and your boy Carolina is everywhere, baby.
My brother.